As we've reported tonight, the temporary pause between Israel and Hamas is over. And during that temporary ceasefire, Hamas freed dozens of hostages and Israel released more than 200 Palestinians held in prisons. Human rights organizations say many of those still being held in those prisons shouldn't be there, especially minors. Now we're starting to hear stories from those who have been released. Our Ines De La Cuetara files this in-depth report.
After nearly 17 months, Qassam and Nasrallah al-Awar are back home. In the West Bank and East Jerusalem, Palestinian families split apart for months and years are being reunited. Qassam and Nasrallah were arrested in July 2022 at the age of 16 and 17 after what they say was an altercation with Israeli settlers in their East Jerusalem neighborhood. They say they've been detained by police in the past. The first time that happened, they were just 5 and 6 years old.
احنا بدنا نعيش زي الجميع انه بسلام وهيك بس الوضع بيسمحش لانه في عندهم عنصرية ضدنا.
According to the Israeli government, the two brothers' offenses this time included things like support for terrorism and carrying weapons, ammunition, or explosives, charges the two brothers deny.
A lot of the charges in the military justice system are vaguely defined and leave a lot of discretion. When you don't have a system with appropriate due process protections, you can be charged with anything because there's nobody to rein that in.
A spokesperson for Israel's prison system telling ABC News minors in IPS custody have all been imprisoned according to court orders after being charged with serious crimes of various kinds. Data from the Israeli prison system shows roughly 7,000 Palestinians are being held in Israeli prisons, 2,188 sentenced, 2,356 are in pretrial detention. Another 2,873 are being detained without charges. In all, 240 Palestinian women and minors were released before the truce agreement between Hamas and Israel came to an end. There are still an estimated 250 Palestinian minors being detained by Israel, according to the Palestinian Prisoners Club. Like Fayrouz Salome, who was among the detainees released, whose mother Salinas we met in Ramallah as she eagerly awaited her daughter's return.
What was your daughter arrested for? I don't know.
Fayrouz receiving a hero's welcome as she got off that bus. Israeli records list her offense as being a harm to the security of the area.
While international humanitarian law allows detention without charge in exceptional circumstances, the sweeping use of administrative detention over 5 decades of occupation violates all basic principles of due process.
14-year-old Abdul Amer, known as Aboud to his friends and family, was the youngest detainee released as part of the exchange. He's wearing a hat to hide the fact that part of his skull is missing. After he says he was shot by Israeli border police this summer, Israeli police did not immediately respond to our request for comment.
راسي زي كأنه حدا بضرب بوكسات على راسي عشان الوجع كان يضل يوجعني أنا طول بالمستشفى دائما أضلني مكلبش من إيدي ويحطوها على التخت وإجي كمان من هون على التخت.
Aboud says police accused him of throwing a Molotov cocktail at a settler's house, which he denies. He was released before a verdict was issued.
بعدين على طفل صغير بتخوا 30 رصاصة. لازم يطخوا يعني إنه على الهوا يعني إني أنا أخاف بس هم علي.
My concern is that the Israeli authorities are not treating Palestinian children like children. I don't think that anybody can claim that locking up large numbers of children for long periods of time is either just or helpful.
Beyond that, the law is also different for Palestinians and Israelis. Palestinians living in the West Bank are tried in military courts. Israeli settlers illegally living there are tried in civil court.
An Israeli child in a settlement next to a Palestinian village throws a stone. That child is tried under the Israeli system. A Palestinian child in the village next door who throws the same stone is subject to a military court system. Pretrial detention is the norm, and there's a 99.7% conviction rate because the system is so unjust. People will just plea plead guilty to get out sooner. The difference in that treatment, the blatant discrimination, is quite difficult.
Palestinians say the two-tier system means detention and incarceration have become a part of daily life. Aboud's mother telling us,
الإحساس والشعور كتير صعب كان، وكانت المأساة كتير صعبة علينا. فكانت كمان إنه أكتر إشي ما كانوا يخلوني أشوفه، ما يخلوني أضمه من بعيد من الشباك. عندما أقعد 5 دقايق وأنا أطلع عليه من الشباك وأقول له هيك وأعمل له بوسة على الهواء، يسكروا البرداي ويصيروا يتنفطروا فيني.
In late November, 2 Palestinian boys aged 8 and 15 were shot and killed in what Israel describes as a counterterrorism operation. The IDF says they only opened fire on those who were throwing explosives at their soldiers. One of the boys didn't appear to have anything in his hands. The other had a small object. Palestinians we spoke with described tough conditions inside the prison, which they say worsened after the Hamas terror attack on October 7th.
يعني احنا قبل الحرب من يوم ما بلشوا، يعني من يوم اول يوم اعتقلونا فيه، يعني كان مذله، كان صعب، كان ألم، كان كل شيء. يعني احنا كنا نفوت على التحقيق، كانوا يمدوا ايدهم علينا، كانوا ضلوا يضربونا، كانوا ضلوا يسبوا علينا، كانوا ضلوا يهددونا باهلنا اخوتنا الصغار. يفوتوا كانوا ينزلوا يعتقلوهم ويهددوهم ويهدوا دورنا مش دورنا.
A spokesperson for Israel's prison service saying in a statement, all basic rights required by law are fully applied. We are not aware of the claims you described. Nonetheless, prisoners and detainees have the right to file a complaint, which will be fully examined by official authorities. Over the course of the 7-day ceasefire, more Palestinians were newly arrested than released. As for Aboud, he tells us he's now spending time with family, trying to get back to normal.
إنه راسي يرجع زي أول بديش إشي منه. بس راسي.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.